being traded the last 2 off seasons, can you talk about how that motivated you?
Getting traded twice in a year is tough. Almost to the point where you start questioning, what kind of basketball player you are. And I was at that point. It was tough, but I kind of use that as motivation just in my workouts and try to improve myself and get better to prove people wrong and prove myself right. At the end of the day, it was tough. I can't even lie, to the point where I didn't even know how to explain it to my family or my friends. But I believed in myself, I believed in the process, and I trusted the process, and it turned out great for me.
Greeny and I have arguments up here all the time because I'm a very spiteful person who wants to get revenge all the time, and he's not. So when you get traded, do you keep track of the guys you get traded for? Do you sort of keep tabs on everything that's going on, just as sort of a side note and extra motivation?
The 2 days I got traded, I was on a plane both times, and I didn't find out until I landed that I was traded. So
Ooh.
I remember those days and who I got traded for like it was yesterday.
And so you
don't forget them.
And how does it feel when you hear people say the Pacers wound up getting the better end of the trade for Paul George, having gone through what you went through, talking about how it made you actually question your worth as a player? When you hear people say that now, how does it make you feel?
It doesn't really make me feel any certain way. I think both teams won the trade, essentially, and I don't think my career will be defined by that trade anymore. It's going to be what I do from now on, so that's what I'm focused on doing, is being one of the best basketball players in the world, and that's the only thing I'm focused on.
I agree, and he's working to do that, and he got a chance to the last couple of seasons play with last season play with Russell Westbrook, who's Paul George's current teammate. Can you say something that you've learned from Russell, or give us a story about something that people don't really know about that makes him tick?
On a basketball court, everything makes him tick. Everything. And he just, honestly, he just keeps going. I think that's the biggest thing I learned from Russ, is that nothing affects him. Only thing he's focused on is winning and getting the job done, no matter what. No matter what the situation is, no matter what the score is, he just focused on winning. And I took that from him, and it's something that I took from him not only on the court but off the court as well. And I'm going to take from him for the rest of my career too, and it's benefited me. So I'm just going to continue to play with that relentlessness.
So Victor, when you're sitting at home and you hear the news that LeBron James has finally left the Eastern Conference, and he's had a stranglehold on that conference for as long as he's been there, as a member of an Eastern Conference team.
The East is open. Excuse me.
What happens? What in your brain goes on? Do you talk to your teammates about it? Because we know how we react. I want to know what a player's thinking when you hear the news.
I might have thought about it a little differently. When I first heard it, I was a little upset because I like playing against the best player in the world. You know what I mean? And keep competing against them and seeing where you're at. And at the end of the day, though, let's be realistic. It does kind of open up the East. And I did text my teammates and tell them, like, at the end of the day, it's wide open now. So how we gonna act is what I said. So we'll see how we do next year.
I know that the task here is to put that series behind you, learn what you can from it, and move on. But I still get tweets from fans of your team who talk about one particular goaltend that was not called in that series. Fans never get over stuff like that. This is your job, your livelihood, your life.
Preach.
Have you gotten over it?
No, I'll never get over that. Because at the end of the day, if they call that goaltend, then who knows what happens. I think we win that game, honestly, but it is what it is. I can't really do anything about it now. Next year, I'm going to just make sure I dunk it.
There's the lesson.
Absolutely. Can you talk to fans about what it's like to be a member of the Indiana Pacers and how their fans embrace the team? And what do you expect from your squad going into next season?
Being Indiana Pacers, Jalen knows those fans are incredible. They treat you as if, honestly, if you're like you're God, honestly. And it's been like that since I was an Indiana Hoosier, and it's like that right now that I'm an Indiana Pacer. Being in front of those fans and playing in front of those guys has been nothing short of amazing. And I'm honored and privileged to be able to do that every night when I play there. I don't think we have great or high expectations for next year as far as like the media and everyone else goes, but I feel as though within ourselves and within our locker room, we're ready to do something big and special, and that's what we're focused on, taking it one day at a time and living in the moment and trying to do something special for the Indiana Pacers.
All right, the professional stuff out of the way now.
Oh, wow.
Because I sing a lot on television,
Oh,
and this
God.
man is
Awful.
an artist. Okay?
Yeah, hold up. Don't put what you do and what he does in the same category.
Oh, this is true. This
Just for the
is true.
sake of arguments.
So, Victor, can you talk to the fans about your other passion, besides basketball, singing?
Well, if you don't know already, I'm a singer. I've been singing since I was 2 years old, probably. And it's my getaway. You know, at the end of the day, basketball obviously is the love of my life, but you know, when I want to get away from the game and get away from everybody, I can go in the studio or listen to music or go somewhere and sing, and it feels like time stops. You know, it's my hobby, and I think everyone has one, and it's what I do, and it's fun.
Is it something that can be taught, and if so, can you teach Jalen? Because he's a man of many talents,
No,
but
I
he is
don't think-
genuinely the worst singer in the world.
He's the worst singer I've ever heard.
No, I don't think I can teach you, Jake. Maybe I can give you some lessons, though. We can try, though.
You can't teach, like, he's tone deaf.